Hi, dear friends. Welcome again. Today we will start a new topic in the Java programming, that is the multi-threading. Multi-threading. We study the multi-threading in the Java because the Java programming language multi-threading support at the language level. Comparative to the other programming language where the C है, C++ है, and other uh, in other programming language, uh, multi-threading can be supported at the operating system level, and we can create the multi-threaded program in C and C++, but we have to use the system commands and system levels command of operating system. But in the Java programming, it supports at the language level. Now we will discuss what is the actually what a thread is. So uh, basically, a thread is a lightweight process and a smallest unit of processing unit. Generally we compare process and threads. So the difference between a process and thread is that the both are used to achieve the multitasking in the any operating system. But the difference is that the thread is the lightweight and the process is the heavyweight, and that is because uh, process have their own memory space, while the thread share all the threads share the same memory space. We can take a typical example of a thread, like uh, we all are working with the Microsoft Word. See the Microsoft Word, assume that there are multiple threads are running. Like one thread is check the spells. The second thread is running that check the grammatical errors. Uh, like one thread is running that take the inputs from the keywords. One thread is running to show the output of the uh, Microsoft Word, and one another thread is running that is send the data using the mail merge option to the another server. So we can assume there are five threads are running, and these threads are uh, we realizing to multitasking, where we definitely know that there is a one processor, but we are achieving the multitasking in the same Microsoft Word program. So this is only be can be implemented through the multi-threading program. While in process we all know that in a any operating system there are a number of programs we can run, like the we are listening music while we are typing in the Microsoft Word. In the same time we are chatting with the and on the Facebook using the any Google Chrome. So we can say there are three simultaneously applications are running on an operating system. This is called the multitasking using the multi-processing, and there are number of process are running in the operating system. While in example of MS Word, we are saying that in MS Word there are a number of threads are running simultaneously. So both either a multi-threading and the multi-processing ultimately are used to achieve the multitasking. Uh, so generally, what are the advantage here given? Advantage of multi-threading is it does not block the user because the threads are independent and we can perform the multiple operation at the same time. Like the in MS Word we can uh, do multiple things at the same time. We can perform many operations together to save its time. Threads are independent, so it does not affect other threads if exceptions occur in the single thread. independent threads. Now see, a process have a life cycle. We already see in operating system that the process have their life cycle. In the same way, threads also have their lifetimes. And how the lifetimes? There are four states, per here we portrait it as a four state. The state it's when new, runnable, running, blocked, and terminated. So when our Java program create a thread, so that create a thread is the new object, either a new thread. Then we call the start method. After the start method, it will be put in a queue. That means it will be in the a ready state, and it it will be it will be put in the running state by the uh, JVM. So this is the running, and in between, if there are any, if there are any sleep or any IO call, then it will be go in the blocked, and finally it terminates. So there are five states: new, new and ready state, running state, blocked state, and finally it's a terminated states. Now we will see how to create a threads. There are two way to create a threads. One way is create by using a thread class, by extending a thread class, and another is by implementing a runnable interface. So using the thread class, there is a thread class in the library. This thread class have the five variations of the constructor. We will use here the there are another number of methods. One important method is the run method, and another important method is the start method. And using the runnable interface, there is in runnable interface there is only single method, that is the run method. And we must to override this run method in whichever class this runnable interface is implemented. So starting the thread, this is an example. I have implemented this example in NetBeans. So you can see here that this is the first way. We just create a class. The class is my multi class, and this class extend the thread class. One of the important method is the run method in the thread class. So I override the run method and put here just a one statement, system.out.println. This is the my multi-thread. I also created another tester class where I use this thread. So this is the my tester class. In this tester class, I just in public static void main I created a object of the my multi. My multi is the a class uh, which inherit the thread class. So create a object of the my multi, and optionally we can give a name of this thread. This is the my thread. I t dot set name, and now I start this thread. After starting this thread, it will run the method of the my multi class. Uh, so just run. It will print the my multi thread. This method is my multi thread. What happen inside is here there are two threads is running. One thread is the main method thread, and one thread is created by one thread is one thread is the T, and one is the automatically threads which it is started by the Java program itself. So we can say here are two threads. No, come to the again another way to create a class and implement runnable interface here. this is the class my runnable class. This implement the runnable interface. Runnable interface have only one method. That method is the run. I just override this method and put a line system.out.println my runnable. Now I create another tester method, that is the test runnable. Here I created a thread and create an object of the runnable and pass it as a parameter to this constructor of a thread. Now this is the another way to create a thread. And now start this thread. Starting this thread ultimately call the my runnable method, this method. So now I execute this run file my runnable. This is printed here. My runnable is here. Okay, this is that was the two different way to creating the threads. Threads have if there are a multiple threads simultaneously, then we can assign the priority to the threads. The priorities may be 1 to 10, and 1 is the minimum priority and 10 is the maximum priority, and there is also a normal priority. It is also a called the 5. So default priority of a thread is 5, that is called the norm priority. The value of min is 1 and the max is 10. Here is a example is given to set the priorities. How this priority create the class test multi priority one that extend a thread, and we run method of a thread. uh, we just name of the thread and get that thread's priority. And here we create the two thread. I think thread 1 m1 and m2. M1 thread have a minimum priority, that means priority is 1, and M2 is the set the priority max, higher priority. When both our threads are about to run, then thread scheduler of the JVM will always give chance to the thread having the maximum max priority. Now M1 start and M2 start, and running thread priority, it will see in output that uh, the thread having the priority 10 printed first. And another concept is the Java synchronized method. If any method and any block or any object is declared as a synchronized, a synchronized method used to lock an object for any shared object. When a thread invokes a synchronized method, it automatically acquires the lock for that object and release it when thread completes its task. So this concept we will read in the next lecture with a very good example. Uh, the same example I will create. So okay, this is the end of lecture, and thank you. Tomorrow we will create an good example of using a thread synchronization, and how the this synchronized keyword is used. And actually we apply a real practical scenario in the multi-threading example. So don't miss it. Okay, thank you.